What is up, everybody? Today we're doing hydro stuff. So I got my hydro handle in. I picked it up from Chase Bays. This thing is of great quality. It looks really good. And let's see, we're gonna grab that. We also need, where's it at? Did I already grab it? Yeah, I probably already grabbed it. Okay, so we got our hydro. Also, we have a mount to put it on. I bought the shifter section for the for the hydro. If I wasn't running interior, then I probably wouldn't have had an issue. But because I'm running my interior, the space that they provided, or the length that they provided on the little shifter mount area, wasn't long enough. So I kind of did some customizing, you could say. I bought a piece of steel and I welded that piece of metal to it. And then I wanted to raise up the platform a bit, so I also did that. My welds are not the best or the prettiest, but they will hold. I welded, it held it. So I probably will clean this side up, just because you see that side, not so much that side. So we'll clean that up. I also have some roof nuts that we'll put in here. And also, here's the brakes for the hydro. So it just uses a 95 Honda Civic front brake. And yeah, those will be mounted to the rear for the dual caliper setup. And yeah, let's get this going. Get the hydro mounted. I don't have my lines just yet, but all that stuff will be done in this video. It'll just be a few days like normal. So let's get this going. Alright, so I re-measured. It's a good thing. So my holes are just up a little bit higher and off to the side a little bit. So yeah, we always want to make sure that we're where we need to be. So let's get to drilling. Alright, our holes are ready. Measure twice, cut once, or in my case, measure a few times and cut once. Alright, so I have my riv nuts inserted. Perfect. everything lines up like it should. Now we're just gonna screw everything down and we'll install this bad boy. I'd say for what it is and not being a fabricator, that'll work. So now I'm just going to take this apart. I'll give it a quick scuff and I'll just rattle can black and it'll be good for us. All right, so our hydro mount is nice and dry. It don't look the best, but hey, it'll work for me. So we'll get this installed. All right, everyone. So the hydro handle has been installed. The next step will just to be run the lines, hoses for the brakes. So here it is. I think it came out really good. Everything all black, flowing together. It's got perfect clearance of the steering wheel. Yeah, I think it looks really good. Really happy with this. Yeah, it'll work out good. Super stoked. So the next step, next process will be to get the calipers on and the brackets, cut things up. But first I gotta order some lines, probably just some AN, like 4 AN lines run to the back. I do have stock brake lines. I might try to utilize those. So we'll see how that goes. We'll be back tomorrow. Well, maybe tomorrow, but we'll definitely be back to finish this up. So stay tuned. All right, we're back again to do some work. So where I left off yesterday, or last time, not yesterday, because it definitely wasn't yesterday. Like I said before, there's many days or even possibly weeks, not even weeks, just days between filming. Did the hydro, and yeah, we got that set up in the car. I really like the way it looks. I'm happy with it. Feels good. I'm still waiting on the lines. I ordered those, so we'll get those in and then we'll be able to hook everything up. Oh, also I still need to get the wheel bearings done on the rear. I got rear hubs already, so I just need to take them out, get the rear hubs done, and then I'll be able to put the new ones on with the brakes. And here's them kind of already set up. I don't have the lines on them because there's no really reason to have them on, but yeah, I really like the way these came out. Painted them all pink. Yeah, just waiting on some other things and then we'll have those in. But today, what we're going to do is paint our bumper bar. I've had it for a bit now and it's, excuse me, it's getting rusty. So what we're going to do today is sand it and put some paint on it. And yeah, I'm going to paint it pink, just like those calipers and just like the engine bay or the engine cover of the Lexus. So kind of everything matching and whatnot. So I'm gonna remove this bumper bar and then get the sanding and then we'll do some painting. continue to sand and sand. So what we're gonna do a little bit of the YouTube magic. Here we go. All right, so much better now. Our metal's a lot cleaner, a lot less rust here. So there are some areas on the bar that still have a bit of that surface rust on there that I really wasn't able to get off. So what we're going to do is treat it with some OSPO. So this stuff stops rust, prepares rusted surfaces for painting, as it says here. That's what I just read. So it converts rust into iron oxide, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, let's spray some of this on here. Let it sit for, well, I think like 30 minutes, and then I'll sand some more and start painting. All right, so I did some last final sanding there after the OSPO. Everything is looking good. I've got it pre-cleaned. Uh-oh. That thing just triggered. Oh no. My fan went out. crack me open a beverage. Breezies, 8% alcohol. These things are delicious. Never tried one yet? Get one, because they're pretty good. Tropical juice. Pretty good shake. Yeah. Beautiful. Good shit. Alright everyone, we are done today. The bumper bar looks super good. Really happy with the way it came out. Super glossy. Nice shine to it. Some great pearls in there. It's gonna look really cool hitting the sun, even though it won't see the sun too much because I'll be having my bumper on, but whenever I go to the track, it'll look real cool with the bumper off. So super stoked. I'm gonna let this cure. We'll throw it on the car, throw the bumper on, and then we're good. So next thing I gotta do is, well, waiting for those lines to come in. Once I get the lines in, then I'll get the rest of the hydro set up, and then I'll be able to do some cool little drifty drifts. I mean, you can do them regardless with some clutch kicks, but it's nice to have a hydro when you're on a course and whatnot. I don't know what I'm talking about. So yeah, just learning and whatnot. So yeah, just rambling now. So we'll be back. All right, cool. All right, everyone, we're back again. We're gonna finish up our hydro now. We got everything situated. We got the hydro handle installed. Got that installed. So now what we're gonna be doing, just a little recap of everything. Got the handle installed. Now we just gotta hook our lines up. I got all that in. Got all the lines in, all the hardware, everything that I need. And yeah, so we got Honda, 96 Honda front calipers right there. And we got our lines. We got some lines from All-Star Performance. These will run to both sides of the wheels. These here are for the calipers themselves. And I got a few other things. These are little AN adapters, or just like 3AN to 3AN. Got them from Earl's Performance Planning. Also, shout out to Jegs. Always get stuff from them. This is for these here. They're inverted flare. And you gotta go in there. That way they adapt to these bad boys. And then I got bulkhead fittings, 3AN bulkhead fittings, and that's what this will go to, and also all that will all go together. So one thing, the parts for Cressidas are very limited. I think for a while a few companies were making parts, and then I think just due to the popularity of the chassis, like, I just don't feel like many people drive these things, and also just the parts just aren't readily available. So I think just a lot of companies just slowly stopped making products and just like don't at all. And so the hydro kit for this car is like, they just don't make it. But if you can find yourself the brackets themselves, you're already halfway there. That's the main part right there. I got some used brackets from someone online, and then they did come with the brakes already, the rotor here, or not rotor, sorry, the caliper. It did come with a caliper, so that was cool. So all I had to do was get my lines and my hydro, and yeah, so now I'm good to go. So let's get everything pulled apart. we got to take the back seat out. Okay, so we got our back seats out. So now we just got to figure out how to run our lines. Also, I need to back the rear up after we start running lines. But here we go. So here's our open space here. I'm gonna bring my line right through here. We're gonna tee it off up in here, and it's gonna cut over. I think what I'll do is I'll drill right into here, and that's where I'll put my bulkhead. I'm pretty sure my seat won't interfere with it, hopefully. Where's that seat? Yeah, so hopefully nothing here interferes. If anything, I'll just trim away any foam that might possibly interfere. But yeah, so let's get that going. And then, all right, this is our first piece of the puzzle here. This is our longest cable. So what we're going to do, we're gonna hop up front. All right, and so the hydro that I'm using is Chase Bays. I see more good reviews than negative reviews. It's a little dirty. The negative reviews. So we went with it. Yeah, we'll just see how it goes as we learn more how to use this and get better at driving. It's all a process, you know? So hopefully that's at the right angle and not just at my chest. So let's run this under my seatbelt so it's not in the way. I was planning on running it through the center console, like right through here, right through this opening, and then running it through here and then just under the seat. But I've noticed that I take the center console out a lot, and I mess with this thing way too much and pull this thing apart way too much to run this through the center console, because then it'll just make it more difficult to work on. So we're not going to go that route. We're just going to run it straight through here, and yeah, so let's do that. Let's get that going. I also need to make a tie down for my dang fire hydrant. It works. I mean, it holds it, doesn't move. But yeah, I need to do that later on. So gotta get this portion connected. I don't have any AN wrenches, so we're just gonna have to use a normal wrench, a no-no wrench for our AN fittings. So I don't know if it'll be better to bring it around like this. Maybe backside. I don't know. What I do know is it's getting hot. It's getting hot. Yeah, I'd say this side. Work. Perfect, actually. Will that be okay? Yeah. Should still be able to fit my bevy through here. So where I sit my beverages at. So gotta be sure it's okay. That should work. I like that. Oh, I gotta move this under the other. Gotta move it under the lap belt. Lap belt. Go. Send that on back. There we go. All right. Alrighty. This harness is out of my way. Out of the way. Out of the way. All good here. Alright, so All-Star Performance. Yeah, that's where I got these from. They look like a good line. We'll see. Time will tell. Alright. Yay. Let me do a little hole here and just run a nut. It's got a hole. So I'll probably drill a hole here and mount it. So that way. Alrighty, so there's one thing that I had to do. I had to go run to the parts store and get banjo bolts because my calipers didn't come with them, so I picked up banjo bolts. The only thing is they're too long. They're just a little too long for what I need, so they bottom out. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put a nut right on down, and then I'll cut some of our threads off. If I have to make sure the hole is good, I'll do that. Blow some air through it. But yeah, so let's get that going. And then I will jack the car up and we'll mount our calipers here, and then we'll hook everything up, bleed the brakes, and then we'll have a hydro. Alright, so here's our banjo bolt. All I did was cut the end off of it, just shorten it up. That'll work just fine. I blew some air through it just to get any burrs out that might be there. We got that. Here's the one I'm chopping up now. You want to put, if you're doing something like this, you want to put a nut on the end of it, just so when you go and cut the end off, the burrs or whatever, you can bring that nut back over the burrs and clean it up. Because if you don't do this, you have the possibility of your nut, bolt, whatever, not going into where it needs to go. So you want to put a nut on the end of it. Alright, so I'll try not to get in the way too much. We're going to start trimming. Yeah. That's fairly easy. I'm not sure if I have to take off this caliper here. Probably should. Just take my shears wherever I put them. Alright, we're just gonna start. Take my file. I got a little file here. I'm gonna take the file and file the edge so it's not so sharp. Alright, so we just finished up the driver's side. We got the caliper mounted. Super cool. So now we're just going to hop on over to the other side and get that one done. So there was a few things that I needed to do. One was trimming back the dust shield. So I trimmed back our dust shield. I did it a little lower than what I should have. I only should have claimed it here, but it is what it is.
So we cut the dust shield. Also, what I had to do was kind of, let's see if you can see it, kind of cut, notch the upper control arm, just because this guy here, this little bolt, it did not want to make it past the upper control arm, so we had to do a little cutting. Trim some of that away, went right in. So now we're going to move over to the other side, get that taken care of, and then we'll start doing the lines on the inside of the car and hopefully plumb everything and get the hydro working. So that's the plan. Let's get back to it. We got our hole drilled. I can't see it from right there, but I tapped my hole right here. We got our bulkhead fitting. This is from Chase Base. It's just a little 90 degree bulkhead fitting here. We're gonna put that through like so. We're gonna put our washer and our nut here. We got our bulkhead fitting right there. Now we're just gonna come on to the other side right here. And then we're just going to put on our washer and our nut. So unfortunately, this part, this hole here isn't gonna work. I probably should have did a little bit more testing before I drilled. That's okay. I have access to a welder and I'll just weld up that hole. There won't be any issues. So the brake line was actually in the way of the wheel. So yeah, this spot's not gonna work. So we're gonna run it up that way and that's where it's gonna go. In Florida, heat is just different. We got humidity that makes it feel like it's like 103 degrees, you know? But regardless, I was able to get my lines hooked up. Yeah, I know these are a little long, but that's all right. That's all right. I will get a tap set and I'll tap or do a little like a riv nut here. Riv nut that into place. This can go back into the trunk area, that's fine. And I don't know why I didn't think of this before. Like earlier I was showing you all the little adapter pieces that I got for this brake line here. This is the brake line that came with the excessive manufacturing hydro kit. So I didn't even think about changing it or anything like that. So I bought this piece here. It's a doubled AN line, 3 AN on this side, 3 AN on that side, AN fitting, and this side is like a tapered, or yeah, like a inward tapered, whatever, to fit to that there. And as I was putting everything together, I started thinking about, why didn't I just get a brake line remade with a 3 AN fitting on it? And felt kind of silly after buying all that stuff that really wasn't necessary, when I could have just had a line remade to put an AN fitting on it. So maybe down the road I'll do that, but for right now this will work. There's plenty of slack in my line. It's not too tight. It's actually really not tight at all.
Good morning. It is the next day. We're gonna finish up the hydro installation. Yesterday we finished up installing the brake calipers. Now we will bleed them. So I stopped by the parts store this morning, grabbed some brake fluid. I'm gonna put some brake fluid in the reservoir and start pumping it up and bleeding it. So let's get that done. Alright, so I did put a rag around the reservoir just so I can keep from making any possible messes. Just gonna fill this bad boy up. Go ahead.
couple little bubbles.
All right, we'll keep going. Okay.
Okay, closed. I don't think I saw anything on that one.
All right.
Open, close. I didn't see anything.
Cool. Fill her up.
Good for this side
Yeah.
for now.
Yeah.
Okay. Closed. Open and closed. Basically phone.
Go ahead.
Closed.
Okay, so now we have the brakes bled. Everything's good. Hydro is working nicely. So let's put the wheels on. Drop the car. Let's do that. The hydro job is complete. Eventually I'll actually test it out. I mean, as I was rolling down the driveway, gave it some pulls and it felt like it was working properly, but we'll actually give it some testing here soon. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and we will see you all next time.